emphasis for the comprehension of the humanity, how we should understand and learn from the Quran. What is a birthday celebration? Birthday celebration is just eating and enjoying the food and talking and in some way talk. It is good. We have to be happy that Rasulullah was sent into this world by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he made the most phenomenal change in the history of humankind, for which we are sitting here. In just those 23 years, he brought up such a big change that the whole world has changed. The perception of humanity has changed. The perception of kindness has changed. The perception of how to live in this world and how to better our lives in the Akhirah has changed. And as per the statistics, at least 25% of the population of the world is Muslims. And all that happened in just 23 years. If you just celebrate, eat cakes or have some parties, that this is the month of, this is the birthday of Rasulullah, what is the difference between us and the Christianity who celebrate Isa's birthday? And most of the scholars, historians say that it was not even in December, it was commercialized. They say, okay, this is a good time, we can enjoy with this as a holiday. So with this, if we have the same perception, okay, we love Rasulullah and we make a party, that is not the answer. Okay, of course it is good, but that is not the answer. We have to adapt what he has done in his life. If you look into the seerah of Rasulullah, there was a period of his initial stay in Makkah, which is about 40 years, where he grew up as a normal citizen of Makkah. And he established himself. When he established himself, Allah chose him to be the Prophet. Allah had this plan before, but it was his akhlaq. إِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is appreciating that you have the best of the best manners. And how did you perform that? By treating people well. Be just. There were willful fudul. When people were caught in these different sects in Makkah, were fighting on everything, they invited Rasulullah to be judging between them. When he used to do trade, he was the most honest person. Everybody wanted to do trade with him. The different merchants in the community hired him to work for him. Khadija had him to work for him before she got married to Rasulullah. So he had built up his character. He has built up his personality. It was recognized by the community, which later on became reprehensible for him for the same reason, just because he was talking something divine. So these 40 years of Rasulullah's life is very important. Now, going back to the latter part of the life, let us start with an ayah of Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقُرْآنًا فَرَحْنَاهُ لِتَقْرَعَهُ عَلَى النَّاسِ عَلَى مُكْثٍ وَنَزَّلْنَاهُ تَنزِيلًا. And this is a Quran which we have separated by intervals that you might recite to the people over a prolonged period. And we have sent it down in pieces as needed. You know, there are several problems in the societies. Not in the societies, in the world. If you see, even now in the current situation, the world is divided. Whom to support, whom not to support. Who to recognize as right and who to recognize as wrong. People are spending millions and millions of dollars to prove their might and prove their right. Likewise, these situations came when humanity cannot understand what's going on. Either you are forced to do something or you are just give up. You give up, okay, this is what is going to happen and this is what I'm going to do. But at the time of Rasulullah, he really changed the society. Most corrupt people at that time were Quraysh. They used to dance around Kaaba without clothes. This is what their ibadah was. This is what their hajj was. That society, he transformed the society. And how did he do that? He did not do any miracle, but it was the miracle of the Quran. If you go into the study of the Quran, if it is like a coin, it has two sides. One is the revelation which was given to Rasulullah, and on the other side is how it was applied. And how it was applied to the life of Rasulullah. He made every possible effort to make people understand what this ayah means. It was relentless efforts for 23 years at different occasions. For example, in the Sulh Hudaybiyah, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam migrated. There was a lot of criticism about his preaching of Islam in Makkah. There were very few people who started listening to him. And even if they started listening to him, these Quraysh used to label him, oh no, he's gone mad now. He was a good person, but he's gone mad. Oh, he's become a magician. He's reading some poetry from some old books. Or he's telling us the old stories of the past. And when he used to talk to people in public, they used to come and say, they used to sit us next to him, sometimes even women coming and dancing at the same place in the marketplace where he's talking to people, these people would dance, just reward the people who are listening to him, because the Quraysh realized that this is true. This word makes so much sense, but they would lose their power. They offered Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, we would put sun in one hand and then the moon in the other hand, and we keep control of the Makkah, but don't talk this. Because they were afraid that this would be gone. All the people would be dissuaded towards them. They tried everything, but when they could not happen, they say, okay, now what shall we do? They tried to interrupt the Masjid. Then they tried harass people who are following Rasulullah. When this did not work, they got into physical. They started punishing the people who are following Rasulullah. And who was the easiest to punish? The immigrants. Bilal was not an Arab. He had migrated from the neighboring lands. He was the first victim. And there were several others, immigrants who suffered. Some were even killed. Why? Because they were following Rasulullah just to harass him. Finally, they went to land to assassinate Rasulullah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructed him to migrate. After migration, he said, okay, these people are not going to leave us alone. They are coming, so we have to prepare a force to defend us, to defend ourselves. What force? 313 people who did not even have their shoes on them sometimes. No arms or nothing. They just went with Rasulullah. That was the force. But Allah helped him in those circumstances. With all this, after several years of spending in Medina, they decided to make Hajj. They said, okay, we have fought a couple of wars here now, they know our strength and all, let's go perform Hajj. So they went for with all their sheep and ihram and all, they were ready. They entered, they tried to enter Makkah through Hudaybiyah. Hudaybiyah is a town just on the outskirts of Makkah. There, the Quraysh stopped Rasulullah. They said, no, you cannot enter. So why? This is Hajj season, and we have all come with no arms. No one has no arms with them. And they all had pure intention of performing Hajj. They said, no, we are not going to allow you. There was communication between Quraysh and Sahaba and Rasulullah how to resolve this issue. They stayed for several days there trying to resolve what to do. There are thousands of Sahaba with Rasulullah. They are ready to perform Hajj peacefully, without fighting, without anything, to perform Hajj and sacrifice alignments with them. But they were denied. Then they said, okay, let's meet in agreement. When the agreement was brought to Rasulullah, it was Rasulullah started dictating the agreement between, I do not remember the name of the person who was representing Quraysh, but he came with the paper, and Rasulullah said, okay, here are the conditions. So at the first point was, he said, start with Bismillah. Ali was writing this agreement. So when he said, start with Bismillah ar-Rahman and it's between Muhammad Rasulullah and whoever was the Quraysh, chief of Quraysh, his name. They said, no, we don't recognize you as a Rasulullah, just write Muhammad. And Ali Rasulullah resisted. He said, no, I cannot take it up. Because they had believed him so much that he is Rasulullah of Allah. They said, no, we are not going to accept this agreement. You erase that. Ali refused. He said, I cannot. Rasulullah said, show. Even he could not read. He said, give me the pen, where it is, show it to him. He himself corrected. He said, okay, take it out. That was the first surrender. Then they had to condition on him. You cannot do this, you cannot do this, you cannot do this, and you cannot perform Umrah Hajj this year at all. And Rasulullah got revelation from Jibreel alayhi salam that he accepted this. And Sahaba were upset. Everyone Whoever was accompanying Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even Abu Bakr, Umar, everybody was upset with this. Even Umar, for his first time after accepting Islam, spoke in a loud voice to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that this is not right. Rasulullah face turned red. He did not answer. And Abu Bakr, who used to defend Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he kept quiet even at the anger of Umar sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He kept quiet. Everyone who was accompanying Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was upset on the treaty of Hudaybiyah. And people were not even wanted to take their ihram out. Then Rasulullah, one of the Azwaj Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ummahat al-Mu'minin, she said, you go and do it first, then they will follow. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam took his ihram out and sacrificed his animal. Then everybody started. But everybody did it very reluctantly. Now they are all returning to Makkah. On their way back to Makkah, Umar wanted to reconcile with Rasulullah. He said, I have done a blunder. I'm feeling so bad in my heart that what did I say to Rasulullah? He tried to speak to Rasulullah, bringing his horse next to his camel. Rasulullah either went back or move forward, doesn't even want to see him face to face. And his face was red. Then Umar said, okay, I'm dead now, you might as well tell my mom that I am dead. He was so, disheartened at that decision. Then Rasulullah was moving forward and everybody else returned reluctantly that we are not performing Hajj this year. Surah Fatah was revealed at that time. Inna fatahna laka fathan mubin. The first ayah itself says that this is the victory for you. Then after some time, when the whole surah was revealed, Rasulullah sent somebody to bring Umar. Umar got frightened and said, okay, maybe this is the end of life for me. I don't know what he will do with me. Then he said, when I come and met with Rasulullah, his face was glittering as a moon, very shining. And I have not seen Rasulullah so happy before in this moment. Then he recited all the 29 ayahs of Surah Fatah. Then Umar realized that this situation which Allah has resolved for us. And Allah has given it a commandment that yes, this is a victory. Nobody could see victory. There is no sign of victory. You could not see this as a victory at all. But Allah is telling, this is a victory for you. This is this power of Quran. If you're just reading Quran by the meaning, oh, Surah Fatah was revealed, and this has happened. This was an impasse. It was an impasse. The situation was not to be resolved at all by human understanding. Nobody would agree. Quraysh were upset. Muslims were upset. They were returning from Hudaybiyah to Medina, and this is a victory for you. What human mind could take it as a victory? This is Quran. These impassable situations like this happened at Hudaybiyah, it's happening in the current world. This Quran resolved. It is beyond comprehension. No human mind can think. No sociologist can predict this. No economist can say that. No journal or warrior can say that, okay, this is a victory. How? It's beyond comprehension. But it was a victory. How? Rasulullah, he was so satisfied. He was so calm. He was so quiet. And he was so happy that it has been revealed to me that this is a victory. What happened? Next year they conquered Makkah without even a fight. When this Hudaybiyah happened, when they returned, the tribes around Medina and all over Arabia started recognizing the power of Rasulullah. They say Quraysh, who was the most powerful tribe and most affluent tribe in Arabia, has come into an agreement with Rasulullah. So there must be some good. They started to join. Several other tribes, they wanted to meet with Rasulullah. What is this treaty? They have entered into an agreement that means he has some power. They started joining Rasulullah. And the same power helped them the next year to enter Makkah without any fight. They recognize now their power, real power, that so many people are coming with arms, but they did not fight. How Rasulullah entered Makkah? When he entered Makkah, historians describe that his head was bowed down. He was not proud like a victorious warrior. Here's my flag, I'm here, I will kill you all because you had thrown me out of this town. He did not do that. La tasrib alaykum al-yawm. He said, I will decide the ayahs what Yusuf recited to his brothers when he had all the power to take revenge from. He said, "You all are forgiven today." Hinda, who killed Rasulullah's most favorite uncle, Hamza radiallahu anhu, in Battle of Uhud, came with the cover on his face. "Oh, you said you will forgive everyone, and have you forgiven me?" He said, "Yes." Then he lifted his her veil. He said, "Okay, I promise that I have forgiven you. I have forgiven you, because you don't come in front of me again." This was his personality. You know, but why Rasulullah has changed the world in 23 years? The modern historians recognize that period, that this was an unbelievable change in the society. How this happened? They first understood the ayahs. They applied the ayahs on themselves. They impersonified and then went out to people. If we would like to do dawah, if you would like to say, okay, we want to celebrate Rasulullah's birthday, yes, you do that, but do we do the other part of it? Birth is like a very little time in a human's life. How he spent his rest of the life. The 40 years as Sadiq al-Amin, the best person in the town, and 23 years of a revolution. What revolution? The best revolution which has changed the history of the humanity. Do we do that? We just celebrate birthdays. We have these ayahs were personalized, they were internalized by the Sahaba. But you know, in the current society, if you would like to do business, you would think twice to do business with a Muslim brother. Maybe, you know, sometimes we take advantage, okay, he is Muslim, he will not complain against me. Let's do whatever I want. We will not do that with a non-Muslim. We might be more honest in our trade with a non-Muslim. But a Muslim, oh, I can take care of it. That's not a problem. We take advantage of this. That was not the case with the Sahaba. They had the same love, the same faith, and the same same confidence in a business partner. They changed their lives in business, they changed their life in a married life, they changed the husband and wife relation have changed, the way they do business have changed, the way they eat has changed, the way they fight wars have changed, the way they take care of orphans have changed, the way they take care of the helpless people has changed. It was a transformation. It was not just Islam saying La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. That is why people were affected by the message. That is why the huge change came in that 23 years. It's not just that, okay, I believe in Allah and His Rasul and I'm a Muslim now. That is fine. But changing our personality is more important. If you really want to do dawah, if you want people to recognize how good Islam is, it's not just by giving out Quran. We have to present that, yes, I am that change which was brought back like 1400 years back. And it can even happen in the society now. All these problems, but I think one of the recent British leaders, not recent, maybe last century, he has said, if problems like this were given to Muhammad, he would solve by drinking a cup of tea. This is the beauty of Islam, and we have lost all that. We just have to take that. I'm a Muslim, that's it. Beyond that, our life is no different from anybody else. What is a kafir? We call people kafir, right? Kafir means knowing the truth and hiding. Why Quraysh didn't call kuffar? They knew everything. They understood the message. They knew everything, but they wanted to hide. They cover up. Kufr is a word derived from the farmland when farmer is called kafir because he covers up the seed with the soil. Know the truth and you hide it. That is kufr. Not believing in Rasulullah, not believing in Allah. They know the truth and they hide it because they lose maybe some financial interest. They lose maybe some power. They lose maybe some other tangible thing for the world. That's how they hide it. And if we want to claim we are Muslims, then we have to show it. How do we show it? Our lives at every step has to change. That's what required. Not just celebrating the birthday of Rasul. It is good, have some cup of tea or whatever it is, but in making that as an occasion like Christmas is not right. What have we gained from it? When Quran was revealed, people were surprised what is happening. And every situation, it fits so well that they really understood that what is Quran is. When Aisha was blamed, there was rumors in Medina about Aisha's character. She had the hardest days of her life of those 30 days. Rasulullah suffered. Muslims were confused what is going on here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came in that situation and made her that she is honest and clean. And Allah says, this is not against you, but it is for you in the Quran. Then ayah came that don't worry about this rumor, this is not against you, it will help you in the future, it is for you. This is how Quran resolved the problems of the situation which came in these 23 years. As I read this ayah just now, it has given at different stages, at different circumstances. To understand Quran, we have to understand the asbab al-nuzul. It's not just like a story reading. And what do we do after understanding it? We have to apply it on ourselves. Every single Sahaba, the societal change, what happened at the time of Rasulullah was everybody was behaving in the same manner. Everybody is talking the same talk. Everybody is eating the same food. Here in the world, currently, revolutions came. Just on the government level. People have their own lives. There at the time of Rasulullah, from top to bottom, everybody have the same pattern to adapt and apply. Do we have that? How we claim to be a Muslim? Just by name or by celebrating birthdays? This is more important in comprehending the Quran and reading the life of Rasulullah. And the life of Rasulullah is nothing but the application of Quran. We have to take time out to understand Quran and to read Asbab al-Nuzul, to understand Asbab al-Nuzul and the life of Rasulullah. Then that is complete understanding. Then that is complete love of Rasulullah. That is the true love of Rasulullah. That is the true love of the deen, and that is the true love and effort for the akhirah. If we think that we are here and this is it, we live only twice, whatever YOLO, whatever it is, if we are with that mindset, then there is no rescue. We have to plan for the future, and we have to see how this Sahaba and his life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described that the best of the people were around Rasulullah. Why? Because it changed from top to bottom in every aspect of life. Every aspect of life. Not just saying La ilaha illallah or reading long surahs in the Quran or fasting for 30 days of Ramadan. That is just the beginning. That's all good, but it's much more deeper. Every aspect of our life has to be changed according to the Quran. And that we get the complete comprehension if we understand the Quran, if we understand the Asbab al-Nuzul, and if we understand the life of Rasulullah, how we made it applicable on the people of that time. May Allah guide us in understanding the Quran. May Allah help us in understanding the life of Rasulullah. May Allah help us in applying those principles on our own selves. Barakallahu lakum fil Quran. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد وبارك على آل محمد ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وادخلنا الجنة مع الأبرار يا عزيز يا غفار يا أرحم الراحمين ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا وأخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من جهد البلاء ودرك الشقاء وسوء القضاء وشماتة العالم يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك اللهم انا نعوذ بك من الهم والغزل أعوذ بك من العجز والكسل، أعوذ بك من الجبن والبخل، أعوذ بك من غلبة الدين والرجاء. عباد الله اتقوا الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجيب لكم على ذكر الله تعالى وهو أكبر. أقيموا الصلاة.
لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
So what are the straighten your eyes, put your forehead on your shoulder, straighten the eyes part of the salah. Allah Akbar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. والتين والزيتون وطور سينين وهذا البلد الأمين لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فلهم أجر غير ممنون. فما يكذبك بعد بالدين أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين. الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. الله